The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Why do couples insist in remaining together when one is harmful to the other?
I think it's addictive. I think that person deprives you of what you need and then is also the cure. So I think it's like being addicted to a drug, no? And I think it's a really difficult cycle to break. You have a dependency, right? It's chemical dependency.
Because they're scared to be alone. They are used to the person. They don't want to move on. They prefer to be with someone they already know, and they are scared to find someone else. Mostly
because it's learnt behaviour from generations past. Financial is a huge one right now. I'm a woman in my 50s and I know lots of couples who are still together because splitting the house at this stage is not possible. So they could sell it, they wouldn't get anything for what they have. So they would rather cohabit unhappily together, which is really sad, but I think, the main reasons are probably financial and learnt behaviour. I think there's still, in a certain generation of people who feel that they have failed in life if they don't make a marriage work, especially if there are children involved.
I think it's fear, I think it's a pattern, that I think it's a habit. And I feel like a lot of people just get trodden down and then it takes them time to build up confidence, to maybe leave.
I think because usually when you start out, there's a hope that, or you think somebody's slightly different, and then when things start to go downhill, there's always that hope that things might change back. And I think people cling on a bit to try and, you always try and see the good. A lot of people try and see the good in people. So I think that's probably one of the main reasons.
You're more likely to stay with somebody who's toxic because you would appreciate that tiny little bit of love rather than recognizing that they're really bad for you because you're just craving that. So God, you should ask a psychiatrist. They'll be here for years.
So you saw there, and some smart answers right there, right? Yeah. They got it right.
Yeah, they
very
spoke
surprised.
About learned behavior from the parents, financial dependence, people they are used to that person, they don't want to try again, right?
Fear of losing. Mm-hmm. So there, you see, there are several factors.
The children
that make people stay in abusive relationship. For example, like you said right now, they are there just because of the children. They don't like each other, they only fight, there's no intimacy. But because of the kids, the children, they decide to stay together just to raise the kids. I'd like to show you a report before we start talking about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. We made a report. We got a little bit of information here and there, and we put it together. Let's refresh our mind. Let's see a little bit of his life, her life, and then we come back with the lessons for your life. You single, for you not to make mistakes. You who are dating, for you to be sure of what you're doing. And you who are married, for you to improve your marriage, okay? Let's go for this report. We'll be right back.
Recently, the massive and scandalous battle involving the Hollywood couple Johnny Depp and Amber Heard came to an end. The former couple first met on the set of the film The Rum Diary in 2011. At the time, he was still in a relationship with French musician Vanessa Paradis. Although Johnny and Amber only started dating in 2012, people believed that he had cheated on Vanessa. This was because he and Amber have stated that there was an undeniable chemistry between them from the very beginning when they met and worked together. In 2015, the couple got married. Just 15 months later, Amber began the divorce process, citing irreconcilable differences. She also filed a temporary restraining order against Depp amidst allegations of domestic violence. There are rumors which allege that Amber had simply gotten close to Depp to awaken and kickstart her apparently failing career. Before dating Depp, Amber was in a 4-year relationship with a woman, Tasia Van Ree. Amber was arrested for an alleged domestic violence incident after having physically assaulted Tasia during an argument at the airport. on the flip side, Depp was arrested in 1994 for destroying a hotel room, and in 1999 he was arrested for attacking photographers in London. The now finalized court process between Johnny and Amber was about defamation. Johnny Depp alleged being defamed over Amber's Washington Post article titled, "I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change." Although Amber never explicitly named Depp, many believe that she was speaking of her former husband. Depp and his legal team argued that the claims made in the op-ed were categorically false. During the court hearings, many polemic details came to light. Amber accused Johnny of slapping her when they had argued about a tattoo that the actor has. She also declared that Johnny had assaulted her during her 30th birthday. A video was showed in court in which Johnny was being very aggressive and destroying furniture inside their house. Jealousy was another one of Amber's allegations. Depp was reported to have kicked her in the back and injured her nose when he got to know that she had kissed actor James Franco for a movie scene in the Adderall Diaries in 2015. Whilst drunk, Depp would reportedly swear at her and had thrown ice cubes and other objects in her direction. Depp alleged that Amber was aggressive and that both of them used drugs. He also said that one of the reasons for them to break up was that Amber had put her own fecal matter in the couple's bed after an argument. Amber had said that it was their dogs, but Depp said that she knew that was impossible. Depp also testified that his finger was mangled after Heard threw a vodka bottle at him. An audio clip of a therapy session involving the then couple was leaked online. On the audio, Amber and Johnny can be heard acknowledging their anger issues. It is also possible to hear Amber's alleged confession to hitting Johnny during their relationship. This story is not a movie script, but it is marked by the use of alcohol, drugs, and episodes of violence. On the 1st of June 2022, the jury granted Depp victory in the defamation suit against Heard. The jury unanimously found that Heard could not substantiate her allegations and that she acted with actual malice when writing her op-ed. The jury also ruled for Heard on one counterclaim against Depp regarding Depp's lawyer's negative comments about her in the Daily Mail. Following the verdict, Depp was humbled that "The jury gave me my life back." Heard stated that she was heartbroken by the decision.
Wow, what a
mess.
shame.
Yeah.
What a mess, what a shame, right?
Yes.
Videos, audios, horrible things. You who have followed the news, it's horrible even to hear about it. It's
an
embarrassing.
It's like their whole lives were exposed to the whole world.
Embarrassing, you know. And let's go, no further delays. Let's go for the lessons we can learn from a typical Hollywood marriage. Let's go. Lesson number 1 out of 3. Broken people cannot make a healthy marriage. Okay, broken people cannot make a healthy marriage.
There's various cases that we see. We see the case of 2 broken people, and they say, okay, let's get together. And since we can relate, we have the same problems, we can help each other, right? Which is what, as you said, 2 broken people trying to be in a relationship. It's not going to work.
Look at this. We can relate. We have the same problem. Maybe we can try to fix each other. No, what's going to happen is you're going to abuse each other. That's what you're going to do.
If you can't help yourself,
you're going to hurt each other.
Help the other person, right?
Yes, because you cannot fix someone. Okay? As a matter of fact, you can't even fix yourself. Only God can fix you. Only when a person goes to the altar and leaves their baggage there on the altar, only the fire of the altar can purify, consume the past, consume the bad habits, the addictions, and make you new. Only God can break you and mold you again. It's only God. So don't try to be a superhero. You're not a superhero. You're not going to fix anyone. You have to make sure you are healthy in your love life. Okay, you have overcome past traumas, bad relationships you had. You are well resolved inside, and then I'm ready for relationship. Let's go for lesson number 2. Your childhood is exposed in marriage. Okay? What do we mean? What do we mean, Mila? Your childhood is exposed in
like
marriage.
one of the ladies said in the interview, you know, a lot of people, it's learned behavior. You are, a lot of people say, and we hear this a lot in the testimonies in the church, you know, you had an abusive father or a mother that wasn't, you know, very, very good mother. And you say, I'm never going to be like my dad. I'm never going to be like my mom. But it's like they end up, it's like an automatic thing, you know, it's like they absorb that behavior in their childhood, and then when they become adults, they behave exactly like their mother and their father.
What happened to Johnny Depp is this: his sister was giving her testimony at the trial, and she said that when they left their house, they promised each other, "We will never be like our mother and father." They promised each other. Johnny Depp's sister, she said that in the trial. And what happened? You saw videos there of him being violent.
Yeah, hitting things.
He was once accused of destroying a hotel room when he was by himself. Even before knowing Amber Heard, he was convicted because he destroyed the whole furniture of a hotel room. So the promises that people make are useless. Have no power if the person is not healed inside. Because the more you say, I'm not going to be like my father, I'm not going to be like my mother, if you don't deal with the issues, if you don't forgive, if you keep grudges, resentment, if the trauma is still there, it's going to come out. That's why we said your childhood is going to be exposed. It's going to come out.
It's like a ticking bomb just waiting to explode, right? And then when something explodes, the person that's closer to you, to the bomb, is the one that's mostly hurt, right? Mostly affected. So that's what happens in marriage. You know, the person is like a ticking bomb, explodes, and then the person that's right next to you, that's
the one who suffers the most.
Who suffers the most, your husband, your wife.
Who takes the hit. And you know, in a marriage, your buttons will be pushed. Because when you get married, your husband, your wife, they become like a mirror to you. Okay? When you're single, you don't owe anyone an explanation. But as soon as you get married, guess what? Your wife is going to try to fix you. She's going to see all the faults that you have. She's going to be like a mirror. When you look at her, she's going to tell you exactly what you are. What no one has the courage to say, she's going to say to you. And the same goes for the wife. Your husband is going to tell you what it is. Look, you do this wrong. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. Because you live together. You spend time together.
And you get to know yourself so well through your husband.
Like a mirror.
Yeah.
If you're single, make sure you're healed. You're well resolved before you get into a relationship. If you're married, you know, yes, you're going to listen a lot of things from your husband, from your wife. But you are married. That's how marriage goes. It's like a mirror. You see yourself like you've never seen before. And you have to be humble, recognize, and change. And be a better person, okay? That's why you get married. You become a better person, okay? Let's go for lesson number 3. And then there's a mistake. I'm sorry for this mistake. It's supposed to be lesson 3 out of 3, okay? Money, beauty, and success do not guarantee happiness in love. So we have one of the sexiest men alive and the most beautiful woman in the world. Full of money, both millionaires, success, attention, celebrities. What could go wrong? You tell me. So money, Beauty,
success,
fame does not guarantee happiness in love. Right, Mila? These things don't guarantee. What guarantees happiness is to have the Spirit of God, the blessing of God, right?
The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.